Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scarfy the Strange. I am now in communications with Dave, who is still trying to get to Jupiter. I don't know if he's gotten lost yet. And another mysterious figure known as the Will of the People.
Hello.
Yes, there's three of us now. God help us all. So, seems a lot of stuff has been going on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Of course.
Alright, that confirms that the stream is working.
Alright, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can you hear us? Is this thing on?
Hello, pardon?
Alright.
Okay.
My computer decided to be weird and I had to make some adjustments because
Goddamn analog technology.
If only we were in space. Woo!
I mean, why the hell did we have to launch this guy all the way back from the Apollo era?
yeah,
I don't even know, Scarfy.
I don't
even
know. I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I
I'm
love you,
sorry.
Dave.
I know. Welcome to the Exalted Scarf stream, where we talk about controversial topics a week ahead of after.
A week after the no, actually, not ahead. I know how time works differently with space and all.
Time dilation is a thing.
No, we're going to talk about time dilation, because if we are, we're going to be here for a very long time.
Yeah, I understand that. So tonight we are going to talk about controversial topics like Star Wars, because it's now a controversial topic.
Here we go again.
I know, it's tragic, sad, but we as humans have to talk about Star Wars, and we're also going to cover controversial movie Cuties, which I'm going to go, oh God, why? Oh God, why?
So, for those people who don't know, Dave, what are Cuties?
It's a Netflix movie. I will explain it to you. Since you, the will of the people, will represent the unknowing masses who will need this
question mark?
Who will need this to be explained. Yes, because you, unlike me, are not part of the Twitterverse, and that helps you out. You are safe from the corruption of this society. I think that's fair.
All right, so we're gonna be starting with the whole Star Wars issue.
I think it's the easiest issue to go over first because
probably.
Honestly, it's the least
least problematic. I mean, yeah. Well,
it's the least. So I'll let you go over it, man.
Well, yeah. Recently, in an interview, Daisy Ridley kind of let loose the fact that they really didn't have a plan, not for her character, for the most part, because they went with her parents are mysterious. Her parents might be an Obi-Wan Kenobi or something. Then her parents could very well be a Palpatine. So it was one of those. Nobody had any clue what to do with her character at the time, and I thought John Boyega had it bad.
Yeah.
I saw this one video on YouTube where some guy theorized that, you know that scene in episode 8, the Rise of Skywalker? What was the 8th one called?
Last Jedi?
Yeah, The Last Jedi. You know that scene where she's looking in and there's like infinite versions of herself?
Yeah.
Some guy made a YouTube video talking about how that clearly meant that her parents were stormtroopers, or she was a stormtrooper, or something with stormtroopers. And I was just like, clearly you don't know what you're talking about, good sir. You're an idiot.
How would that?
Of course.
What? You mean every stormtrooper? What kind of weird gang bang stuff was going on there?
Without
he was making the argument that like because she sees infinite versions of herself, she's a stormtrooper, and I was like, that is so dumb. But what were you saying, Dave?
Well, okay, I think I get where he's coming from, but I think it's stupid. He's probably coming from the idea that supposedly, and this is a normie thing, if you don't know your deep Star Wars lore, they always assumed that clone troopers became the stormtroopers. When, if you know deep Star Wars, the stormtroopers are made up of clones and normal people. So, you know, he's probably going out the idea that maybe she's like a clone, like a batch of clone stormtroopers, and that's like millions of them. That's the only explanation I have.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, it's dumb, but
it's really dumb, Dave.
I'm like, okay, how could he think this? Stormtroopers, that's the most logical connection.
Dude, all you have to do is play Star Wars Battlefront 2 and you'll get the backstory as to, okay, why the stormtroopers are different than clone troopers.
Yeah, but not everybody... Look, Star Wars is one of those cases of there is deep lore to it in the other stories that explain this shit, and it's a little more well-known, but a lot of people still only focus on the movies as being the true canon.
Yeah,
it was Disney because I can't remember. It's either Star Wars or Star Trek, where they completely got rid of if it's not in a movie, it's not part of the lore. Is that Star Wars?
it was actually Star Wars that they decanonized the extended universe.
But the extended universe was awesome, man. Like
it was.
Let's be fair. Paramount also did the same thing of basically saying that yes, we could, unless it shows up in a TV show, it's only semi-canon at best.
I'm just like, that's so dumb.
Look, man.
The Star Trek movie's really good, but we're getting off topic.
Yeah, let's move on.
Anyways, Star Wars. Yes.
So, I'll talk about this because I have some opinions, specifically because I like talking about storytelling. People know this about me. Right?
Yeah.
Well, you say "Here's the Thing" a lot. In fact, you have a Discord called "Here's the Thing." So yes, continue.
Yes. Besides my Discord, this whole thing. So, all right. To me, the thing about a lot of people were saying that Lucas didn't plan on Darth Vader being Luke's father, and here's the thing about that. George Lucas didn't make an entire mystery about his parentage and his powers. The whole thing about it being a reveal was that it's a reveal. There wasn't a mystery. You know?
Yeah.
When this new Star Wars series came out, they decided to set it up with a bunch of mysteries. A whole hell of a lot of them.
Thanks, J.J. Abrams.
And when people got the answers and they didn't seem to line up, well, guess what? Because here's the thing. You don't have to have a plan to make... You don't always have to have like a concrete, oh, we have to do this plan. But you do want to have an idea of where you want to go. Because, let's face it, the trilogy doesn't have a consistent villain, the new one, at all. First you got Snoke, then you got Kylo Ren, and then you got Palpatine.
I mean, I like Palpatine and everything, but it's just such a cop-out, I feel like, because it's like, with making it Palpatine, it's like, oh, people like him in the original trilogy, so let's go and make him her grandfather or whatever the hell.
Well, that's because here's the thing. He's the only character with emotional impact as the final boss. Because guess what? No one could really take over at this point the way they set it up, because Kylo Ren got his ass beat in all 3 movies. All of them.
Yeah, well, because I had hope for Kylo Ren in like the first one, because he seemed to be trying to be like Darth Vader, but like Darth Vader is like 1,000 times more cooler and better written than Kylo Ren ever hoped to be.
Basically, because it's like this. Oh, look at me. I am Kylo Ren. Oh, look, I got beaten in the first movie. Oh, wait, I had the second movie. I can still take this. Oh, I got beaten by Luke Skywalker in the second movie.
And then, like, spoiler alert. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And then he dies like a bitch in the third one. I don't think people care at this point.
I was about to say he dies, and I'm like, I really wanted him because they had this kind of pseudo romance, I felt like, in the third movie. And I was like, it would have been awesome if they like had kids and started the Jedi thing again, but no, they kill him, and I'm like, what the fuck?
He just becomes Darth Vader too, but suckier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
Anyway, the whole thing Daisy Ridley revealed was that they had no idea who her parents were throughout the entire thing. No one set up a plan for it.
Yeah, and somehow that's controversial, which I don't understand, but okay.
It's controversial because I'll tell you this, Will. A lot of the sequel fans tried to defend that there was a plan by Kathleen Kennedy for this film that didn't get made because look at the films and how the Star Wars fans reacted to them. They had to change, and it's like, no, they had no plan. They just didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I have to congratulate the fandom menace for being vindicated in all of this.
We have to actually say, those guys on the internet who you hate for, like, saying, "Oh, look at how sucky the Star Wars movies are." No, they were right.
For everyone who's like a Razorfest fan, just imagine a whole bunch of dudes in the fandom menace doing the same "fuck you, I was right" dance. That's pretty much what they're doing right now.
Pretty much. And it gets worse with the recent John Boyega stuff too, where he went over.
He was a diversity hire. Oh my god!
So basically, everyone who was criticizing the movies were right, and it doesn't look good for anybody. So.
Yeah, because I think John Boyega even said that he was practically hired just because he was black, and then they did nothing with his character.
Basically, the way he summed it up was that in the first film, he was given priority as much as the main actors. Like, he actually goes out of his way to defend J.J. Abrams.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of the weirdest...
I think I got, like, one of my favorite John Boyega quotes out of that, because I think it was rumored in one interview, he just said it like this. It's like, leave my boy J.J. Abrams alone. He wasn't even supposed to come back to fix your shit. It's like something like that.
Yeah.
And I suspect there was a lot going on behind the scenes where J.J. Abrams, for all his faults, might have had a better movie in mind for The Force Awakens, but through meddling, John Boyega's character might have been thrown to the side. I think he was meant to be the main protagonist.
Dude, he was definitely main. I think at one point he was the main protagonist for one reason: the toys.
Yeah, but the whole idea of a stormtrooper protagonist or former stormtrooper protagonist is an interesting and new idea that just got sidelined for, well, Rey.
Yeah.
The one thing that pisses me off about John Boyega's character.
Oh, we'll get to China in a second, AJ.
Is the last one, like, they give him force sensitivity, which I thought was kind of cool, but then they didn't do anything with it. And now we're never going to see him, like, develop his force sensitivity, you know what I mean?
Well,
yeah, no.
That's because they made the whole movie about Rey.
Yeah, exactly. And Rey is, like, the definition of a Mary Sue. And that's even evident in the first one, where it's like, she's a Jedi, but then she's also now Captain Millennium Falcon. She's also this, she's also that. She just does everything. And I'm like,
well,
huh?
I think part of the issue here is that she was written in such a way that she didn't grow or earn or learn her powers throughout the course of the story. She just started off already powerful, and it's really just everyone else who's holding her back.
That's kind of the problem with like stories like these is that, like I say this, like I don't consider Superman a Mary Sue because most of the time Superman stories revolve around him trying to save someone and him trying to help them.
Excuse me.
So he's often doing it for like them, you know? And that's where the character development gets in. Superman doesn't always have to develop in his own story. It's about him helping people develop.
Yeah, but with Superman, like, he has all these infinite storylines, and the vast majority of them are really good. But, like, poor Ray just has, like, 3 movies, and that's, like, it.
Well, Ray has 3 movies where she basically could be the only character, and then you wouldn't have to change anything at all.
Yeah, exactly my point.
The sad thing is that Daisy Ridley is likely to have 3 movies.
I imagine what will happen with Daisy would be that she goes either into a different form of acting, like stage acting, because that happened to Mark Hamill for a while, or another line of work.
Oh my god, female Joker? That'd be hilarious.
She becomes
like, Mark Hamill's a successful kind of guy. Let me just follow in his career steps. And she goes to DC and it's like, hey, female Joker? And they're like, sure, why not?
I would love to see Daisy Ridley as a Batman villain.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I love that idea.
You know,
or a Wing Commander protagonist.
We just have to make sure she follows the steps and just like she becomes oh god, what's the Kickstarter game that's never going to
Star Citizen? Oh my god.
The protagonist of
Dude,
Star.
Put her in Star Citizen, you might as well.
So we got Daisy Ridley to be the protagonist of Star Citizen.
No, my god, that's great and terrible and funny at the same time.
I didn't know Mark Hamill did stand-up. I should check that out.
Yeah, Mark Hamill does a lot of different stuff, actually.
There's certain people in this world that just have creativity and talent coming out of every orifice. Like, Will Smith is like that. Will Smith has, can sing, can act, can do a lot of stuff. It's just some people are just born with so much talent they practically spit out of their bodies.
But now I have to wonder, okay, so what do you gotta do now, media, now that Daisy Ridley has pretty much, like, screwed you guys over? Well, I mean, are you gonna defame her after, like, building her up as this strong character this whole time? This important watershed moment?
I don't even know.
Look, I think they might double down on Roast Tico. They might. Or down in this case.
Sooner or later, Kelly Marie Tran is gonna start coming out against this whole thing.
I don't think so at this point. She's always been very relatively silent in comparison to the other actors. John was more open, and I imagine that because of Daisy Ridley's, like, I imagine that one of the reasons Daisy Ridley is talking right now, but again, I don't know.
Well, Daisy Ridley can't get a job after this.
She's not getting job offers. I imagine she could get a job, or she might end up being a convention circuit staple.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it.
When all the COVIDs go away, and then we can have a convention circuit again.
But yeah, what a bad time to have a curse. A Star Wars curse.
I know. Look, Hayden Christensen, she's just probably going to have to settle for smaller roles, and she might just have to build up her cred a bit, which happens. I imagine, focus on indie work. Like, a lot of actors can get that, Actors and actresses and other stuff like that.
Isn't that like a step down, though? You're a Star Wars hero, and now you're doing indie?
Well, yeah, but keep in mind, you were Luke Skywalker, now you're playing the Joker on a cartoon and not even a live-action movie.
No, point taken, Dave.
I'm just saying. While Mark Hamill, to me, is the definitive Joker, a lot of people do consider that a step down, but I actually like Mark Hamill's career trajectory better than Harrison Ford's actually.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the perfect actor story.
But yeah, Harrison Ford knew this shit was gonna happen.
He avoided it, and honestly, probably for the best. He was just like, "Yo, I'm Harrison Ford. I don't want to do this."
Yeah, get me out of this movie as soon as you can. Kill me in the first one.
Kill me. I always wanted to die in this film. I had nothing else to do. And it's like, okay, Harrison Ford, you're just going
that's
to
just
die
gotta be
now.
all of his. That's just gotta be all of his characters if they bring him back for all of his movies. He's just gonna come back as a deadbeat dad.
He's just gonna become like a ghost of just like.
I mean, it's like,
hello.
I mean, what's gonna happen when they like do a sequel to Executive Decision?
Hey, let's not get wacky here.
Supposedly, he's all in for the next Indiana Jones film whenever that gets made.
Oh dear, that's gotta be fun.
I'm afraid, but you know, if it happens, it happens, and I'm just accepting that right now.
All right.
So,
But,
you know.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next thing then.
Yeah, let's move on. Star Wars is a trash fire, and only David Filoni can save it. Summing that up right now.
Yeah, good luck, Dave.
So, on to the next topic.
All right. This is gonna. I think the next one's gotta be a fairly short one because I don't know much about what's happening. The whole turns out things are not going on well for Epic because Apple is now countersuing them over the whole lawsuit thing.
Well, right now we live in an era where Apple and Epic are just going to just fight it out together.
So
Yeah.
For the layman, what's going on?
So,
Essentially, what had happened is that Epic added a new payment option for the mobile version of Fortnite, where you could just bypass the App Store and pay through the Epic's website itself, thereby shortchanging Apple. Because when you're buying off cosmetic things through the mobile version, Apple's supposed to get a cut out of that, but they kind of put in a link that bypasses all that, which is against the Apple's TOA. So they just cut the Fortnite game right from their store, and Epic tried to sue them over that. And they're pretty much accusing Apple of being a monopoly. Or something along those lines.
Apple is such a cult kind of company. I'm surprised it still is going today.
Will, I'm going to just explain this to you because I worked in a phone store for a long ass time, my man.
Yeah.
Dude, Apple phones are the preferred ones in general. Anytime I've switched people from Samsung to Apple and vice versa. But dude,
why though?
Dude,
Google is so much better.
Apple.
They are Google overlords.
All right. So let me explain this. Apple is very layman. Okay. You might be a computer dude, and I know you are. I despite everything. But Apple are for people who don't like dealing with computers and want something that's just easy to use.
Then why get a smartphone? Why not just get a regular flip phone or something like that?
Because they want to watch YouTube.
But doesn't that require
let's not detract from any of our potential viewers who could be using Apple phones right now to watch us.
Okay, I apologize. I'm just trying to understand the lawsuit.
But yeah, the lawsuit is that essentially Epic's. I don't know what they were thinking. I think they were trying to set themselves up to actually have their own mobile store.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why they couldn't just have your mobile store. There's Aptoid is a thing.
Well, dude, here's just the truth of it. Because, all right, look. If they want to be available on everything, they're not like here's the thing, you have to either go through iOS or Android. Now you could also try Windows Mobile.
Yeah, let's not get on Windows Mobile, okay? Oh God, dude.
Well, to be fair, Google is trying to do the whole Chromebook thing.
Look, everybody's kind of trying, but anyway, look, the whole thing with it is that Apple wanted something, and no, Epic wanted something. They wanted to try and bypass it, and here's the thing: they made an agreement with Apple. They violated the terms of service, and they're in the wrong here. They tried. They were greedy. Look, and here's the thing. I'm not saying Apple is good here, but legally, Epic fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, they tried, and I get it, but Epic is also not just some, oh, we're a small indie studio who's affected by the man here. You own Fortnite. Todd McFarlane is making action figures of your franchise.
But yeah, this is one of those cases of, yeah, I should have seen this one coming.
Like, I'm sorry, settle with Apple. Get over yourselves. You fucked up.
Yeah. Just for crying out loud.
You fucked up. Like,
And
you signed a contract, you violated the terms. Get more money.
Yeah.
Simple.
And I'm no fan of Apple either. I mean, I'm in the place where it's like, gee, I wonder if there's a way to make both of them lose.
Unfortunately, not in this case.
It's like, well, people like think it's like, if only if there was a way for both sides to win. No, this is one of those struggles where I want both sides to lose.
No, in this case, both sides should probably lose in some fashion, but Apple is this platform, and if you want to host things on their platform, here's the thing. You don't have to host things on their platform. You didn't have to. But because you want Fortnite to be everywhere and for everyone to play...
Yeah.
Give me a sec, guys. Okay. I'm talking to my friends right now. Yes, that's up. Sorry, guys. Just making sure I had to deal with little family stuff. But hey, you know.
Alright, don't worry. We're moving on as fast as we can.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, but with life in general, Apple didn't screw up as hard as it could. Look, I don't like Apple either because I feel like they hold back their technology to kind of build in obsolescence onto their phones. So, you know, that's a thing to really screw them with. And I will admit right now that, hey, Apple, I can't wait to use USB-C on everything. Your lightning cable is going to see its last day soon. I can't wait for that. Now, joking aside, with everything here, this is one of those cases of it's just going to be a slap fight. Epic's probably going to take a bruise and be like, one day people will like us. And Apple's going to be like, yo, we're Apple. We're going to have like our sweet little commercials and stuff. And see ya. We're going to charge $1,000 for a stand. See ya. And go off into the night screaming like a mad lunatic. That's just how it's going to happen.
Alright.
But, you know how it is. What's the next topic for tonight?
Let's move on to Cuties next. Just get this one out of the way.
Okay. So
Yeah, this
so
was
the will.
this was the one where at first I thought it was gonna be bait because the trailer for it on the Western release was reported to have been just more hyper-sexualized than the European advertising measures, and it was made by someone who wanted to protest against this kind of activity. But then the movie actually came out,
Wait, hold on.
and then
Sir.
it turned out to be really as bad as people have said it was.
So when you said Cuties, right? I envisioned like a child's movie with like adorable characters running around and doing adorable things. I'm looking at the Google page for it. This looks like a porno.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to explain a few things.
So
That's why I have Chris Hansen here to keep an eye on things, just to be sure.
Like, is this in fact a porno?
Let me put on my Chris Hansen mask and I'll explain.
Have a seat, Will.
Have a seat, Will. You're not going to be the one sent to prison today, but we're going to have to talk about this. So, like any person, we're going to have to talk about how Netflix decided to release this movie. So let me explain this whole thing. So Cuties is a film that is supposedly about demonizing kids being sexualized. Supposedly. We're going to be using supposedly a lot here. Okay? It's about an 11-year-old girl who grew up in a conservative Muslim family, and she's discovering her sexuality with her friends and all that and they end up becoming part of a dance troupe that does very sexual dances, including twerking.
Yeah.
And that's the movie of Cuties. Now, here's the thing. The idea of the film and how it was defended by Netflix was that it was criticizing sexualizing children. But if you look at the film, it uses actual 11-year-old actresses. Like, those actresses right there are their ages. No ifs, ands, or buts. So, we have a movie where kids who are 11 years old are doing sexually charged dancing.
And this is a good idea. Why?
Thank you for being the will of the people here. I appreciate this. You have no idea.
Jesus. You think they would have learned their lesson from a long time ago when they released a film that included I think it was an Argentinian film that included like underage characters playing horsey on pillowcases and then getting an orgasm off of it.
I heard about that. The one I actually think of is there's actually it's an older movie, but a lot of people remember it as Little Miss Sunshine. That movie actually did have a child beauty pageant, and it did a much better job of criticizing that whole thing than this film does. Now, I should mention, if you're wondering who the director is, it's a she who tried to do a film. It's one of those things of, I think it's less taboo in France, to an extent, to talk about. And to be fair, looking at some of the stuff they produced in the past, that does kind of line up. But it's very hard not to look at this and basically think of it as, oh god, this is pedo bait. Oh god, why? Because I actually saw the dance on Twitter because I'm not going to see this movie. I don't want to have this be on my Netflix page and be like, we're going to recommend these films to you. I don't know. I don't want that. There are much better things for me to do. I have it to the perfect point of where I can see Transformers, Power Rangers, weird science fiction movies. I'm not putting pedo bait into that algorithm. There are much better things for me to do. I could be watching Star Trek.
Yeah, take your pick. Take your freaking pick.
Like, I don't. There's.
Ugh.
Yeah, can you see what I mean? And this movie. Initially, people were defending this movie because supposedly the advertisement were making it look worse than it is. Then I saw reviews for it by people I trust from many different backgrounds and cultures to make sure, because sometimes you do have political bias, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And it all comes down to left, right, or at least the smarter people on both sides.
Oh yeah, and they made this into a partisan issue, which it's like one of the reasons why I thought this was bait in the first place.
Yeah, no. The movie ends up being this whole thing where it's like, oh, look at us. They tried to make it a partisan issue by basically saying, oh, look at us. You guys don't understand this movie's importance to culture about how we treat women. And it's like, I don't want to see a film that is built on actresses forced to act sexy when they're 11 years old. I'm sorry. I appreciate the message, but
It's like kicking someone in the nuts just to bring awareness to testicle damage.
Yes. Here's the thing: they are giving Quentin Tarantino the moral high ground. We live in a world where Quentin Tarantino and 4chan have the moral high ground.
Holy crap! Yeah, that's the thing. And by making this a partisan issue, you're pretty much making the far right look good, guys.
Yeah, let's explain this. So, because here's what happened. You see, Quentin Tarantino made a movie called Kill Bill. In it, he flashes back to one of the characters being sexually abused. But he didn't want to have it in live action because he didn't want to actually put an actress through that. So, he made it animated instead, to avoid having an actual child actress look like they're being molested.
No offense, but good for him.
Yeah, no offense at all. Good for him. He actually was like, there's a better way to do this, and he just did it. So he got an anime studio to make the sequence in an animated form to avoid the issue.
Yeah, it worked, and it still worked with the film.
Yeah.
So, in an alternate timeline, what you're saying is that Cuties could have been an anime and all this would have been avoided?
Honestly, yes, because then you could cast, say, actresses who are of age. And while I'm not saying it would be better, because the movie, from what I hear, is still kind of shit. But if it's animated, then you're not actually putting actual actresses in this situation.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because that's just it. And 4chan outright banned people from posting any images from the movie because they're afraid of developing a pedo problem.
We are living in a world where 4chan has a more high ground on this stuff.
Yeah, it's 2020. The apocalypse is upon us. We live in that era where right now there's just no good way of saying it, or, well, there is a good way of saying it. Yeah, this movie is controversial for, in my opinion, probably the right reasons. Because I can see what they're trying to do, but fuck, I don't want to see this movie. I don't want to see actresses be put through this when they're 11 years old. This is not like the thing you want actors to do. Heck, Stanley Kubrick also has the moral high ground with Shining, too. Because guess what? He actually made sure the kid in the movie didn't know what actually was going on. and actually treated him very well
Yeah.
in a horror film.
Yeah, you're not gonna
I'm
be able
not-
to see this film till you're 18, kid, but trust me, you're making a good film.
Yeah, I mean, and that film's also infamous for what happened to Shelley Duvall and her relationship with that film. So
Yeah, and AJ, this is 2020. We are all surrounded by idiots who are burning
Yeah.
things down. By the way, how's it going in California? Anyone from California?
I'd rather not talk about that. That is actually too depressing
It
right now
is.
for me. So I hope so. My family and friends are safe right now, but I rather
Same
let's
here,
hope-
and I got family over there.
yeah. So let's just hope for the best, and like California, we hope things get better.
Yeah,
Before they
good
get
luck
worse.
to you guys. Hope you make it out of this alive.
So, but anyway, I decided to. But today, let's focus on better things. Because you know what, if we're going to bring controversy to the table, we should probably bring some good stuff to the table.
Yes.
We gotta bring nice stuff that people can enjoy together.
Let's bring modern day Auschwitz.
I didn't expect to go there, but sure.
Yeah, just imagine if Disney decided to film within spitting distance of a concentration camp and then just thank the state of which they were filming in. That's pretty much what happened with the whole Mulan thing and its controversy. Because if you understand what Uyghur means and what was going on over there, you probably know that, yeah, shit's going down.
Well, to explain this for the will of the people, isn't that right, Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell is a Uyghur?
Let me explain this. Okay, so all right, so you know the new Disney live-action Mulan movie, right?
Yeah,
It's bad.
yeah.
It's now made only $5.9 million at the box office,
Okay.
which is bad. But so a Uyghur to explain. So in China right now, one of the things that is controversial, actually it is rightly controversial, is the fact that they're putting Muslims into concentration camps to convert them or kill them because it's a concentration camp.
I think they call those re-education camps, but those are in air quotes at this point.
Mike, you're talking to a Jewish guy here.
Yeah, that's why I put that in air quotes.
Yeah, so, yes, it's a concentration camp, and for all intents and purposes.
Please.
I'm going to say that because, yeah, no. Anyway, it's basically abusing people to force them into adapt to society when, look, it's I've read some stories there. It's not a pretty sight. But here's the thing. Disney ended up filming close to there, and they got some help from residents, locals, and the government. So basically, they were filming near a concentration camp. And that's not the only controversy with the movie either. So basically, Disney ended up thanking a concentration camp refuge. But the lead actress is also famous for her comments of, oh yeah, the Hong Kong protesters shouldn't be supported. All hail the great leaders of China.
Something tells me that might have been under duress.
Look, no, she's honestly, from what I understand about this actress, I actually looked it up. She's apparently well known in the Chinese movie community as being a terrible actress.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
I know. So that's a
Yeah, that's a thing.
yeah.
Don't worry, AJ. We're not on D Live. I don't think. I don't think Jin Pan Pooh Bear will throw us out.
Yeah, we should be fine. Hopefully, we're not going to have to worry about His Majesty the Pooh Man. as I will call him.
And keep in mind, this new version of Mulan, I mean, they made all kinds of adjustments just to cater to the Chinese audience, including the deletion of a titular character, Wushu, or Mushu, yeah, Mushu. And they've also, for some reason, gave Mulan chi powers, which is why I named this stream the Chi Awakens. Because we're doing both Star Wars and Mulan. Oh boy. And that is just a weird change in terms of the original and the new version. Because in the original, she essentially got by just being very smart and clever and just learning how to play to her own strengths over her own weaknesses. In this new version, it was more about, she was already born with this kind of chi power, which I guess is Chinese for midi-chlorians. And so it was really just society holding her back from being what she is meant to be, which is like this warrior or whatever.
I actually made a joke about it where she's basically more like Jubilee than Mulan.
Yeah.
It's
treated like a superpower in a way, kind of like the way the Force ended up being.
She's a Chinese girl who is born with a power that not everyone has and is ostracized for it. It's more like the X-Men.
Also kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, because...
honestly, the best way of putting it, I found, I didn't mention this in my thing, was that she's basically, what's it called? She's basically Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah. In fact, I even came up with this whole theory on the whole Harry Potter universe, where if it turned out that J.K. Rowling was a white supremacist, it could be that Harry Potter was only being born a wizard. The fact that you have to be born a wizard means that you have to be born white for your white privilege powers or magic ability. They even have a word for the non-magic born folk, which is a racial slur for them. They only just swapped the N word for the M word.
Oh.
But that's just a theory of mine.
Well, you might have the right theory. We don't know about that.
Not that Rowling needs any help for controversy. She's already in enough trouble already. Yeah, spiritual energy within everyone made up of vigor, mental and physical control of oneself. Which in this movie translates to superpowers.
Yeah, basically. This has been a very, very special movie.
It is. Several ways, and it kind of loses the plot in multiple ways. It screws up the message of the original, which everyone liked, by the way, and did inspire young girls, and it messes up the localization with China, because it's like Chinese are still offended by this movie in some way.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm already hearing the whole, rabbit thing quote that's from, every Chinese YouTuber out there who's covering this.
Yeah.
What is it? When the soldiers finally discover that Mulan was actually a woman all along, she just tells them, yeah, when you see two hares or two rabbits out in the field, you could always tell the male from the female because the female is always in the burrow protecting the young while the male is off running in the fields. But if both rabbits are running in the field, you can't tell who's who.
Of course. Oh God, I hate this. I'm really not a fan. But you know how it is. They are very special. But honestly, the Mulan film is just kind of from what I've seen, other wastes of a film. They don't even have the songs from the movie, the iconic "Be a Man."
Well, today that would have been considered sexist.
Well, today I don't care because Be a Man is perfect. Like, in terms of perfect Disney songs, I actually think that is one of the best ones.
Yeah.
I genuinely it hits, it still sticks with me. When I quote it, people know what the fuck I'm quoting. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, be a man, you must be sweet. Like, seriously, you start on that. It's a great song. And I understand trying to. But you wanna know what else is also sad? I've heard from other people that there's already a great live action version of this that was made in China not too long ago, too. So it's even like such a useless film. Like, I think in terms, I kind of hope that this bombs any chance of more Disney live action movies happening. I will take direct sequels in theaters over this.
Yeah, especially considering that it's already tied itself to the whole like camp thing that's going on.
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of tired. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine, dude. It was good having you around, and we might as well end here tonight because we went over all the topics together, and it was such a nice time had by all as we just discussed controversy after controversy
After controversy.
Yes.
This has been a hell of a week.
Yes, it has been. And I think we will leave it on this note in a good thing because as much as I know maybe we haven't seen the best, I feel like let's all recommend something nice. Let's all try and recommend something. I'm going to recommend the Batman Adventures trades graphic novels from DC Comics for the artwork of Mike Parobeck. He is a great artist, and unfortunately, he died in '96, not leaving a huge lot of his work out there. But what there is, and there is actually a bit, is amazing. I think you should check it out. Scarfy, do you have anything to recommend?
Uh,
It can
Video-
be anything, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, video game wise, well, I haven't seen anything really all that good recently. Well, I would recommend Examma, but I'm already recommending that enough when I'm doing my review, my what now 3-part review of it. I'm still working on that, but that's it's not finished yet, but what's there is pretty good. In fact, I'm starting to feel like Razor Fist playing the Underworld Ascendant game. It's like I'm praising an unfinished game, but it's still pretty good for what it is.
Yeah, hey, that's fair. Will, I know this is your first time on this whole thing, but you have anything to recommend? And it can be anything.
Is he still around?
Maybe, I don't know.
He's not around.
Fair. I'm gonna recommend Magic the Gathering. He plays that. He likes it.
You should. I don't know. Maybe you should get the older decks.
Maybe. Let's say. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the stream this week. For whoever watched. But,
Yeah.
We will come back later. Ta-ta and good night, y'all.
This is Scarfy and Dave signing out.
Yeah.
All right.